Hello everyone, welcome back to my sessions on company final accounts. Today I am going to present the preparation of statement of assets and liabilities. Dear students, for preparation of statement of assets and liabilities, there are few prerequisites. You should know the format of statement of assets and liabilities. You should know special provisions of Companies Act relating to preparation of statement of assets and liabilities, and you should know notes to statement of assets and liabilities. And regarding these prerequisites, I have explained in detail in my previous sessions. Dear students, now we have to move towards a problem solution of that problem. Here the problem is given about Mrs. Rahul Limited. They are asking us to prepare statement of assets and liabilities. Here the informations are given at the left hand side and right hand side of this table, and they are also given the informations as additional information. One is authorized capital and one more is other current liabilities. So dear students, as far as the problem is concerned, we have to take a glance on the items given in this problem, and based on that informations we have to segregate the items in a separate heads in order to take a help for preparing notes to accounts. And before doing that segregation of the items, let me prepare the statement of assets and liabilities format. As prescribed by the Companies Act 2013 under Schedule 3 Part 1, the format is like this. At the top we have to write Schedule 3 Part 1, and below that we have to write the name of the company, and below that we have to write statement of assets and liabilities. And as far as the statement of assets and liabilities are concerned, there are two main components. One is equities and liabilities and another is assets. In equities and liabilities, we have four sub-components. One is shareholders funds, second share application money pending allotment, then non-current liabilities, and fourth one is current liabilities. And likewise in assets, we have two components. One is non-current assets and current assets. So this is what the pro forma for statement of assets and liabilities, and based on this pro forma we have to prepare the notes to statement of assets and liabilities. And before preparing the notes to statement of assets and liabilities, let me segregate the items given in the problem. And first of all, here I can glance over the left hand side items. Here first of all, they are given the item about loss for current year. This is reserve and surplus item. The next is buildings and furnitures are given. These are the items related to tangible fixed assets. And next is capital work in progress. The name itself shows that item, capital work in progress. Then investments in government securities is a non-current. So it comes under long-term investments. And there is a closing stock. It comes under inventories. Then loose tools is a other current assets item. Trade receivable item, cash in hand and cash at bank are the items of cash and near cash or cash equivalent item. Then now come to the right hand side, there is an item called share capital. Here two share capitals are given. One is equity share capital and another is preference share capital. So these items are to be taken under the note share capital. Then they were given information about securities premium and general reserve. These are the reserve and surplus items. Then bonds and debentures and long-term loans. These are the items of long-term borrowings. Then we have to go for the next information, that is other long-term loans. So it comes under the other long-term borrowings. Then short-term borrowings is an item of short-term borrowings. Then trade payable is the item of trade payables. Then other current liabilities is the item of other current liabilities. And they are given information about the short-term provisions. Two items are there. One is provision for income tax and another is a provision for salaries. These items are to be recorded under note short-term provisions. And they are given the information about the authorized capital in the additional information. That is 8,000 equity shares of which 10 each and 40,000 preference shares of which 10 each. This is the authorized capital. It is also to be taken in the note share capital separately. And there is an additional information about other current liabilities, which consists of income received in advance. It is to be taken under other current liabilities. So based on these segregations of the items given in the problem, Now let us move towards the preparation of notes to statement of assets and liabilities. So first of all, right at the top, notes to statement of assets and liabilities. Below that, we will take one by one the items. First of all, we have to take the items as per the statement of assets and liabilities pro forma. As for that, under equities and liabilities, we have the share capital, that is shareholders fund. Under that shareholders funds, we have share capital. The share capital is to be taken in such a way that first of all we have to take the authorized capital, and about authorized capital they are given in the additional information. So that is to be taken here: 8,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each and 40,000 preferred shares of rupees 10 each. So the total of authorized capital is rupees 4,80,000. It should not be taken to the totaling of the share capital. And next we have to take issued, subscribed and paid up capital as given in the problem. Here they were given in the problem about this. Here 6,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each and 20,000 preferred shares of rupees 10 each, and the total is taken to the outer column. Then after that we have to move towards the text note, that is about reserves and surplus. And about this reserve and surplus, they were given the information like securities premium, general reserves. Two items are related to this head, and securities premium is taken directly to the outer column. Then general reserve. So general reserve opening balance is given, that is rupees 2,20,000. And most importantly, in the problem they were given one information, that is one is loss for the current year. There is no profit for the current year. There is a loss for the current year. It's very interesting. If there is a profit, that profit is taken to as a surplus and that is added to the reserves. But here it is a loss. If it is a loss, first of all we have to subtract that loss from the surplus, and it is adjusted to the general reserve. The same thing just we have to make in this note. So here from general reserve we have deducted the loss for the year once, and in surplus we have adjusted that loss to the general reserve, and the balance of surplus becomes nil, and the total of reserve and surplus is 2,60,000. And after this we have to go to the next item, money received against share warrants. There is no any information in the problem about this. Even share application money pending allotment, there is no any information in the problem. Then about long-term borrowing, there are two important items. One is bonds and debentures and long-term loans from banks. Both the items are there. Those items are to be taken here, and the total is rupees 2 lakh. And regarding deferred liabilities, there is no any information. Then other long-term liabilities is there. There is other long-term loan is given in the problem, that is rupees 40,000. And then long-term provisions, there is no any information. Short-term borrowings are there, that are named as loans and advances from others. And after that we have to go to the next item, trade payables. The trade payables is given in the problem rupees 2 lakh, and the same is taken under the note. After that we have to prepare the note for other current liabilities. There is one adjustment regarding this, that is adjustment as which other current liabilities consist of income received in advance, and that is to be adjusted in this note. And after that we have short-term provisions. Short-term provisions is having two items. One is provision for tax and another is provision for salaries. Both the items are to be taken here. Then tangible fixed asset. There are two tangible fixed assets. One is building and another is furniture. That is to be adjusted with the depreciation given in the bracket in the problem. And then we have to go for the intangible fixed asset. There is no any intangible fixed asset given in the problem. Then capital work in progress is there, naming with the cost of self-constructed asset. That is to be taken here. Then as far as intangible assets under development is concerned, there is no any information given in the problem. And after that we have to go for the next item about non-current investments. There is one item naming with investments in government securities, that is to be taken here. There is no deferred tax asset, no long-term loans and advances, and there is no other non-current assets and current investments in the problem. So just these items to be taken as nil. And after that we have an inventories. There are two items related to this. One is closing stock and another is loose tools. Both the items are to be taken here. Then trade receivables. there is only one trade receivable item is given. Then cash and cash equivalents. There are two items under this head. One is cash in hand and cash at bank. After that, we have to move towards the next item, short-term loans and advances and other current assets. There is no any information available in the problem. So dear students, based on these notes, now just insert the amount available through the notes in the respective heads under the statement of assets and liabilities. Here, first part, equities and liabilities. Under that, we have shareholders funds. Below that, we have three items available in this problem. There is one is share capital, another is reserve surplus, and money received against the share warrants. So share capital and reserve surplus informations are available, but there is no any information about share money received against share warrants. So the total of these items are taken to the outer column. Then share application money pending allotment, there is no any information available. Then under non-current liabilities component, we have four important items. One is long-term borrowings, then secondly deferred tax liabilities, then other long-term liabilities and long-term provisions. In these four items, we have only two informations available in the problem, and for that we have made the notes and we have got the balances as rupees 2,40,000. The total is taken to the outer column, rupees 2,40,000. And the fourth important head here is current liabilities. It is having four items. One is short-term borrowings, then trade payables, then other current liabilities, and one more is short-term provisions. And all the items are available in the problem, and for that we have made a note also, and from that notes we have got a balances as it is 60,000, 2,30,000 and 1,50,000. Total is 4,40,000. And now we have to sum up for all these four heads here, and the total of all is rupees 12 lakh, which is called as the total of equity and liabilities. So dear friends, and like this we have to go for assets. In assets part, we have two components. One is non-current assets and another is current assets. Under non-current assets, we have five sub-components. Of that, important is fixed asset. Again, under this fixed asset, we have four components. One is tangible fixed asset. The second one is intangible fixed assets. Then capital work in progress, and one more is intangible assets under development. As far as these items are concerned, only information about the two items are given in the problem, and for those we have made a note and we have got a balances here as it is for like 90,000 and 20,000. And after that we have non-current investments. There is a amount of 80,000, but there is no any information about the remaining non-current assets. There is deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances and other non-current assets. Then the total of non-current asset is taken to the outer column, which is the 5,90,000. Then we have to go to the next part of these assets. There is the current asset. There we have six items. One is the current investment, then inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalents, short-term loans and advances, and other current assets. So for the out of these, we have three informations got from the problem, and for all these items we have made a note and we have got a balances from that notes. Here for inventories rupees 2,50,000, cash and cash equivalents rupees 2,40,000, and there is a trade receivables rupees 2,40,000 and cash and cash equivalents rupees 1,20,000. The total is taken to the outer column rupees 6,10,000, and the total of non-current assets and current assets is rupees 12 lakh, which is the total of assets. And like this, we have to prepare the statement of assets and liabilities in a simple way. Dear students, throughout this session, we have dealt with solving or preparation of a statement of assets and liabilities of a company with basic adjustments. So these are my references. You also may go through these references. Thank you, friends.